everybody. Happy Sunday. Just gonna wait a couple more, a minute or so while we wait for some more people to log on. I can see you on here though. Let me know that you're here with some comments below. Oh, okay. Guys, we are in August. We're already a week down in August. I can't believe that already. We are on the other end of winter, which is amazing because I don't like winter. But we're already it's our first Sunday Night Live for August. So, and I know it's been a bit of a wet week, but let me know in the comments what sort of weekend you had, guys. Let me know what you got up to. As always, it's a hashtag live if you are here with us tonight. It's a hashtag replay if you are watching after the fact. And after doing our 3-day masterclass last week, there were lots and lots of questions around calories. They seem to be this elusive little thing that sews our clothes just a little bit tighter in the wardrobe overnight when we're not wearing them. So some of the questions that came up were things like how to count them, how to balance them properly, how to burn them, and how to apply them to our knowledge of weight loss. So as a result, this month in August, our Sunday Night Lives are going to be a little bit more focused around helping you to understand what a calorie is and understand their role in our endeavour to live a healthy weight. And also so that you can maybe get a better understanding of where you may have gone wrong in the past or why some programs that you may have tried are not working and others do. And just trying to get that general real good clarity around why calories are actually important in weight loss. So to start off that specifically, tonight we're going to look at what calories actually are. So we're going to go right down to the basics. And I know some of you might think, well, that's simple. A calorie is a calorie, right? But for a lot of people, it's not that simple. A calorie is not a calorie. What is a calorie? What makes up a calorie? Why do we even have them? So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And we're also going to help you understand to know exactly how many calories you are burning, because there seems to be a huge misconception around how much energy you are actually expending each day in terms of your BMR and all those sorts of things. So we're going to nut that out here tonight, ladies, in this group. So let's make a quick start. Let's start with what is a calorie. So does anybody actually know what a calorie is? If you do know, pop it in the comments below. Let me know if you know what a calorie actually is. I think we have done this before in the group about 6 months ago, so some of you will know. I'm going to do a quick shout out while we're waiting for those comments to come through. Hi, Reagan. Hi, Kylie. Jodie's here. Meredith's here. Kayla's here. Hi, Kayla. Mel's here. Hi, Mel. It's nice to have you all here tonight. Natalie's here. I can see Natalie's popped up. Hashtag live. Hi, Natalie. Alrighty. So, a calorie. I'm not seeing comments on that one, so I'm guessing you don't know, which is probably a good thing because you're going to learn something tonight. So a calorie is the amount of energy that is required to heat 1 kilogram of water by 1 degree Celsius. Mel, you've got it. It's a unit of measurement for energy. 100% Mel it is. So a calorie is the amount of energy that is required to heat a whole kilogram of water by 1 degree. Okay, that's what a calorie is. Our body uses up this energy every day to survive. Okay, that's what it is. We use calories, we use that energy to survive. We need it to survive. Okay, we absolutely have to have it to survive. And the energy, where we get that energy from, is our food and our drinks. So all food and drink is measured in calories. And it's measured in calories so that we know how much energy we are actually putting into our bodies. When we put too many calories in, we end up with extra body fat. When we don't put enough calories in to keep all our systems working at optimal levels, then we lose weight. The equation, ladies, is actually really, really simple, okay? It's really simple. And the problem with a lot of weight loss programs and a lot of women sometimes is that they overthink it. It is actually really, really simple. It's a simple equation, okay? But in terms of surviving, if you think about it, calories should not just be used for thinking in terms of how heavy you are and how much body fat you have. Guys, you literally have to survive. So think about all the things that you need to survive. First of all, you need to breathe. So your lungs need to function, or your respiratory systems need to work. All your muscles need to work, including your heart, okay? And your muscles need energy to function. Your skin needs energy to rejuvenate itself. Your eyes need energy to see and move, and your eyelids to blink, and your mouth to talk, and your hair needs energy to grow. Guys, you need energy for every single part of you that is moving and talking and breathing every single day just to survive. So you need calories. Now, you know what's going to happen to you if you don't put any calories in for a week or two. You're not going to survive. And if you do, you're not going to survive very well, okay? So calories are essential. They're absolutely vital for you to actually survive. And getting the right amount is vital for you to survive or to exist at your best levels. All right, we're going to go into that a bit more now. So I'd like you to think of your body a little bit like a car, and the calories are like the petrol or the diesel that you're putting in. If you fill it to the top of the tank without going over, okay, you will get maximum mileage on your journey, okay? So your car's the body, food and drink are the petrol or fuel. If you don't put enough in to fill your tank, your journey is going to be cut short, okay? You might run some systems, might run a bit slow, you might do some bit of damage to the engine. Nothing will be working at its optimal level on low fuel. If you overflow the tank with petrol or diesel, whatever it is, the excess fuel is likely to leak out into other parts of the car. It gets everywhere in the nooks and the crannies, and it sits there. And it starts making other things a little bit yucky and a little bit hard to maintain. It may even be impacting on the function of the car itself. A little bit like extra body fat, yeah? Do you get my drift? Let me know if you get my drift. I love my car analogy. I think that's a really good one for when we're thinking about using food for energy. Now, people can tell you till they're blue in the face that you can lose weight without ever counting a calorie. And of course, that's true if you're eating specific foods and specific portion sizes, okay? But at the end of the day, guys, the very essence of weight loss and weight gain is the equation of calories in and calories out. It always comes back to that, no matter what you're doing, no matter if you're doing keto or if you're doing carb cycling or if you're doing no sugar or gluten-free or pescatarian, whatever it is that you're doing, at the end of the day, weight loss, weight management comes down to calories in versus calories out. Now, obviously, there will be different types of foods that will make your body react differently, okay? So that's where some of those different diets are good for different people. But at the end of the day, weight loss, weight management comes down to calories in versus calories out. If you eat more than you burn off during the day through activity and through living, you will put on body fat. If you eat less than you burn off through the day, then you will lose weight. Now, the whole purpose of doing this is I want you guys to stop overthinking this equation. That's where we get ourselves into trouble. We're overthinking this all the time. Weight management is so simple, okay? It is actually one of the simplest things that you will come across. It is so simple. It is not always easy though. I'm not saying it's always easy, but what I'm saying is it's simple. It's calories in versus calories out. It is basic maths, ladies. And yes, regardless of what you think about your maths brain, you can do this one. Okay, it's nice and simple. So one question that seems to come up a lot is, how do I know how many calories I'm actually burning? Let's have a look at that now, because I saw that come up a lot in the masterclass the other night. So everybody has a basic metabolic rate. We call that a BMR. Let me know in the comments if you've ever heard of a BMR. Your basal metabolic rate is the base level of energy that your body needs to survive, okay? just to stay alive. I'm not talking about to be able to run a marathon or to be able to lift weights or to be able to play a game of netball or football, whatever. It is things like breathing, blinking, talking, tissue and cell and muscle repair, moving your eyes, pumping the blood around, digesting the food that you're eating. All right, that is your BMR is the minimum number of energy calories you need to put into your body every single day just to make sure all of these systems function at their best level. That's what your BMR is. So if you were laying in bed all day and did absolutely nothing, maybe you got up to go to the bathroom a couple of times, but you did absolutely nothing for 24 hours, that's approximately how many calories you would burn that day. That is your BMR, your absolute base level. So you will always burn that or more, okay? Now, the common misconception is that you will put on body fat if you eat higher than your BMR, because that's the total number of calories that your body burns. Is this what you thought? Put your hand up, guys, if you actually thought this was the case. If you thought that your BMR was the number of calories your body burns in an entire day, so you can't eat over that, don't be ashamed to put your hand up, because you will actually make me feel a little bit better. So up until a few years ago, I really struggled to get my head around this as well. I was really confused with this concept. And sometimes I thought the reason that I wasn't losing body fat was because I was eating over my BMR, which, by the way, was 1,250 calories. Really low. Yeah, that's my BMR. So you're not alone if you've thought this, but that's what I'm here tonight to educate you on, to give you that little bit more information and to hopefully encourage you to eat more food. Okay, we're going to talk about that now. So your BMR is literally just the base level of energy that your body needs to survive and function, period. That's what your BMR is. So, are you ready for this? You should never eat below your BMR. Okay, never eat below your BMR, because that means that your body is not going to get enough nutrients and enough energy to survive at its best level. Now, there are going to be days when you don't eat at your BMR. Perhaps you're sick, perhaps you've got no access to food for whatever reason, things like that. They're anomalies. They don't happen every day. That you can't help those types of days. They're once in a blue moon. We're not talking about that. We're talking about every day. All right? So you have to eat at or above your BMR just for your body to survive. So I'm literally here tonight to tell you to eat more calories. That's what I'm telling you right now. Eat more calories, particularly if you are eating at your BMR level, if you're eating really low. Eating this low is not sustainable long term, because you are not lying in bed all day. You're going to work, you're cleaning the house, you're running around after kids, you're socializing with friends, maybe you're playing sport, maybe going for a walk, lifting weights, whatever it is, okay? You are not lying in bed 24/7. So then, from there, how do we know how many calories we are actually burning, and therefore how many calories are we allowed to eat? There is another number that you need to know if you are serious about balancing your weight, and that is your total daily energy expenditure, otherwise known as your TDEE. Your BMR is vastly different from your TDEE, okay? It should be vastly different. If it's not vastly different, then you're not moving an awful lot during the day, and that might be something you need to address first. If you want a sustainable weight management or body sculpting program to be successful, you need to understand the TDEE. So this is how many calories your body actually burns over the course of a day. So all of that resting that we talked about, your BMR, plus you're walking, you're cleaning, your sport, going to work, moving around the house, playing with the kids, that's all added onto your BMR. Even having a shower, standing and doing the dishes and doing a big cook up for the week, that burns calories, right? That is included in your TDEE. So the TDEE is the number of calories your body uses to function, move, and be at your best every single day. All right, so let's do an example. Let's say your BMR is somewhere around 1,400 calories. Unless you have a huge amount of body fat or a massive amount of muscle, then it might be higher than that, but 14's a pretty average number, probably less for some of us in general as women, okay? Add to that 1400. So let's say 14 is your baseline. Add to that 1400 calories how much movement you do at your job, planned exercise, cleaning, vacuuming, housework, standing on your feet, all those sorts of things. So now we start to get a real picture of how much energy your body is needing every day to function. All of this adds up to burning calories, and this will then be the baseline for working out how many calories you need every day, not your BMR. Okay, so your BMR plus your movement activities will be the level of calories that your body's going to need to sustain those movements every day. Let me know in the comments if you are still with me. I'm going to take a little quick break while I have a drink. Let me know if I've lost you. I'm going to give you my example. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. I'm giving you my details here for how this could work out. So my BMR is 1250 calories. So when I'm lying down doing absolutely nothing for 24 hours, I burn approximately 1250 calories. Now, I'm short. I'm not very tall. I'm relatively lean. I'm not overweight. And I have some muscle. I like to have a lot more muscle, but I've got some muscle. But because I aim for 10,000 steps every day, plus I do weights workouts 4 or 5 days a week, I know that my TDEE is 1850, okay? So my base level is 1250, but I know that I burn approximately 1850 a day, give or take each day, depending on if I've gone for a run or if I've been on my feet more or less if I've, sat at my desk all day. So I know that if I eat around 1800 calories in a day, I should not put on any body fat and I should be able to put on muscle, okay? Because remember that muscle needs energy to grow. Now, if I ate at my BMR of 1250, I would be extremely hungry. I would lose weight. Absolutely, I would lose weight, but probably I would probably lose more muscle than I'd lose muscle with my body fat, because remember that muscle needs energy to stay alive. Hi, Connie, I can see you there. Yes, I'd lose weight, but I would also be very miserable. I'd be very hungry. I wouldn't have any energy. I'd be super lethargic, and I wouldn't be able to do it for very long, okay? In fact, with the amount of exercise that I do know that only eating 1200 calories in a day will have me super starving hungry, and I will not be fueled to do my workouts, which then in turn could cause me an injury. You see the flow-on effect here and how important it is to get the right number of calories, because it's all very well and good to say, I want to eat, at 1200 when I'm burning 1800 so I get a good weight loss. But what that in turn does, depending on your physical activity, it impacts everything else. So my muscles and my joints might not be getting the energy that they need to survive, so therefore I'm at a higher risk of an injury. Now, I don't know about you, but an injury is going to set me way further back than increasing my daily calories by a couple of hundred will. All right, so an injury is not a good thing to have. So in order to know how many calories you are burning each day, you can head over to a website and work it out. There is a website called the TDEE calculator. There's plenty of them on the website. You can Google them. You put in your personal details and you select an activity level. Always underestimate your activity level, because the highest intensity activity is like where it's like extremely active or whatever it says, is like running marathons, like running 10Ks 3 times a week, or professional bodybuilding, or jobs that are that physically active, okay? And of course, if you're not doing any planned exercise at all, then you would choose the very bottom level of physical activity to get a more accurate reading, which is sedentary. The word for that is sedentary. And then what you do from there, that'll give you a very low number. So it's not going to over-calculate so that you're not accidentally overeating. It'll give you a low basis rate to start from. Alternatively, you may have a Fitbit, a Garmin, or an Apple Watch or something like that that actually tells you how many calories you're burning based on the data you put in and the heart rate that it measures through the day. And yes, these aren't always exactly accurate. In fact, I don't think they're ever exactly accurate, but they are really good for giving you a ballpark figure, all right? And to be honest, that's all you can ever really get in this arena is a ballpark figure. It doesn't have to be an exact science. It needs to be ballpark. It's fine. It has to be because that's all you've got. So don't worry too much about that. The ballpark is fine because you can adjust things as you go. So one last thing I want to go through with you tonight is how to know whether you are actually eating too many calories or too few or not enough calories, all right? We're going to quickly go through that now so that you can actually learn to understand your body and work out if you need to increase calories or if you need to decrease. The short answer is your weight and your body will give you all of the answers that you need. You just have to listen. Let's talk about that. So let's say you estimate your TDEE is 1800. We'll use me as an example. That's fine. So you eat at 1800 calories every day. And the trick here, ladies, is that you're actually tracking it. Okay, you have to be accurate in your tracking of what's going in. You have to be honest with what's going into your body. Okay, the extra couple of chicken nuggets that you get or the roll of chocolate off the kids' dessert, whatever, that counts. Just because you don't put it into the Fitbit app or the MyFitnessPal or whatever doesn't mean it doesn't count. It does count. I'm sorry. I hate to say it. I wish it didn't. Okay, so let's say you are eating at 1800 calories a day, tracked really accurately. You have to track it or you're not going to get anywhere, okay? After 4 weeks of eating at 1800 calories, you have done one of 3 things, okay? Either you've lost weight, you've put on weight, or you've stayed pretty much the same. And by the same, I mean within 2 kilos either side, okay? Maybe 1 kilo might be better. Better go for 4 weeks. So, firstly, when that happens at the end of the 4 weeks, I want you to take into consideration your menstrual cycle. Maybe you're at a point in your menstrual cycle at that 4 weeks where you may be holding a bit more fluid. So therefore you go another week, okay, to when you're not going to be bloated and full of premenstrual fluid or ovulation fluid, whatever it is that you suffer from. Secondly, we are going to assume that you have been calculating your calories exactly for the last 4 weeks and came in each day around the 1800 mark, give or take 50 calories, yeah? If you have lost weight after that 4 weeks, then your TDEE is higher than the 1800 calories. Great for you, well done. The higher the TDEE, the better. You can eat a bit more if you want to for more energy, or you can enjoy the weight loss if that is one of your goals. If you have stayed the same weight after 4 weeks, then you know that you are eating at your TDEE and you will maintain that body weight as long as you eat at that 1800 and keep up those activity levels that you've been doing. So that would be your weight, your maintenance. And that's, guys, that's pretty much where you want to sit for most of a year, right? And we're going to do another live on that about the maintenance level. But you'll know that 1800 is about what you're burning every day. And if that's what you're eating, your weight's staying the same, that's pretty much where you're going to stay, all right, if you're eating 1800. If you get to the end of the 4 weeks and you have put on weight, it simply means that you aren't actually burning 1800 calories a day and that your TDEE is lower than that, okay? It's not anything to be upset about. It's just the way it is. So again, firstly, take into account your menstrual cycle. Then if you're just bloated and holding fluid that week because you're premenstrual or whatever, then like I said, go another week, see what happens. But if you have put on body weight, the first thing you're going to do is not panic, okay? Whatever we do can always be undone. So stop stressing about putting on a little bit of weight. You don't go into some 5-day cleanse just because the scales have gone up. You don't go starve yourselves. You don't go drop your calories down to 1200 and be stupid about it. You're not going to do that. What you are going to do, if weight loss is a goal for you or weight maintenance, but you have put on some and you don't like that feeling, simply drop your calories down to 1700, okay? And stay there for 3 or 4 weeks and see what happens. Then repeat the process, okay? So you're not going to drop it stupidly. You just drop it by 100 calories a day. You're now down at the 1700 mark. Stay there for 3 or 4 weeks and see what happens, okay? If at some point you find that 1700 isn't working either, the weight's still climbing up, then you might need to reduce a little bit more. At some point, you will find a balance where the weight doesn't move much at all, and that is your maintenance level. You might be able to go up then from up and down in 100 calorie increments every day until you find what it is that you need to work to reach your goals. Alternatively, and I like this option better because I love food, you can always increase your movement, okay, and your exercise instead of decreasing your calories. So if you're on that 1800 mark and you're eating 1800 and it's not losing weight, but you're not gaining weight either, instead of dropping calories and being a little bit more hungry, just go for an extra 2 or 3 walks a week, or add 10 minutes onto your walk every time you go. Increase your exercise a little bit and then see what happens. It's not a race, guys. You've got time to work out what's going to be best for your body. The other thing that you can do, if you haven't already, is clean up your diet. Okay, clean up the food that's going into your body. I don't mean wash it with soap and water. Okay, I'm going to explain a little bit better. But sometimes you might be eating 1800 calories, but you're not losing weight. Might not have to necessarily increase exercise or decrease calories. You might just need to clean up the food that you are eating, because 1800 calories from wholesome, nutritious and filling food is going to make you feel full all day long, and it will have a better fat burning effect on your body too, because your body is going to utilize the energy better with nutrients in it. It's going to make it work better for you. But if you are eating 1800 calories of crappy, sugary and processed fatty foods, they're going to leave you starving hungry, and your body won't actually be using that energy for as much good as it would if it was wholesome, nutritious, clean food. That's what I mean by cleaning up your diet, okay? So have a look at the foods that are making up your 1800 calories every day, whatever it is that you're eating, and just see if there are some tweaks that you can make to those foods. And quite often you find if you drop some processed foods out of that, you can eat nearly twice as much clean food for the same amount of calories, and you'll feel full. Those that have been on our 8-week challenges know the value of eating, green cruciferous vegetables, because they really fill you up and they don't add to the calorie balance very much. All right. So there is method in the madness of cleaning up your diet. Make that the first point of call as you are trying to embark on this weight management journey. If you're not sure if you want to cut calories or start exercising, start with cleaning up your diet. Start with cleaning up the food that you eat. All right. All right. That's it, ladies. The truth to how many calories you are actually burning. Do you have any questions for me? Put them in the comments below. Your TDEE is actually a really good number to know. I recommend that everybody knows this. The number will change depending on your body weight, because the more body fat that you have, the more calories you burn. So if you are significantly overweight, you will burn more calories than someone who is slightly overweight. So be prepared. This is an important one too that people actually don't think about. Be prepared that when you lose weight, let's say every 15 to 20 kilos or so, your calorie burn may decrease to a point that you do need to adjust your calorie intake. Okay, so let's say your TDEE is 2,000, but you're significantly overweight. You lose 20 kilos, and all of a sudden, you maybe you were eating at 1,900 calories, but now you haven't changed anything, and now your rate of weight loss has slowed or stopped, but you haven't changed anything. You're still eating at 1,900 calories. Well, that's probably because you've lost the weight, so therefore your body is not using as much energy to survive. And now you need to adjust your calories if you want to keep losing weight. So someone, let's say my height, 165 centimeters, right, at 60 kilos, and then you've got someone of the same height who's at 100 kilos, the person at 100 kilos will burn a lot more calories each day just surviving than someone at 60 kilos will. Does that make sense? You just need to be prepared that as you lose weight, your daily calorie burn will also decrease. All right? Just something to be aware of. Plus, on a bonus, I love this one. When you have really big muscles, when you have taken that, the 18 months, 2 years more to build, visible muscles, your BMR gets higher. You burn more calories at rest. The more muscle you have, the higher number of calories you would burn doing absolutely nothing. I like the sound of that. I really like the sound of that. But this is only for those people who have a lot of muscle. So visibly huge muscles popping out everywhere. And men. Sorry, ladies. Men just naturally have more muscle, okay? They just naturally also have a higher BMR than us. So it's not fair. It sucks. I've got a 6'2" husband who is a beanpole, and he burns at least 1,000 more calories a day at rest than I do. Okay? That's the biggest difference between us is male and female. Alrighty? And it's just not fair and it sucks, but there's nothing you can do about it. So when you are trying to work out calories maybe with your partner or whatever, just remember that guys need more calories. It's just the way their bodies are made. Nothing you can do about it. We get on with it. So a couple of interesting things there to note as well. So if you like the idea of burning more calories at rest, be like a man, I guess, then building muscle is probably somewhere you might want to start looking as well. And remembering that muscle takes time to build, so it'll be a couple of years down the track. So the sooner you start, the sooner you'll get there in a couple of years' time. Alrighty. Very interesting, makes sense. Good, I'm glad it makes sense. Connie, my TDE was an eye-opener for me during the first 8-week challenge. I wasn't eating enough. Oh, yes, she has visible muscles and more contoured. Connie, I love that. And do you know what, guys? Quite often, I see it all the time, and it was me not eating enough. You can't grow muscle if you're not eating enough. Your body doesn't function properly if you're not eating enough. Don't be scared to eat more calories worth of really good food, because you can. You absolutely can. All right, ladies, shameless plug. If you have not gotten on and jumped on that GO program to build the summer body, we're going to look at muscle building. We're going to go into your metabolism and your calories and all those sorts of things in so much more detail in our GO program. Head over to the website, ladies. Jump on board. It doesn't start for another week, but the personalized program with the personalized recipe pack is just about sold out. We are down to our last 2, I think. But guys, get on it. You're going to love it. If this is all interesting to you and you want to take it to a whole new level, go and hop on the GO program as well. All right, lovelies. Have an amazing week. I hope the weather finds up a little bit more. And yeah, have a lovely week. Thanks for joining me tonight. As always, if you've got any more questions, put them in the comments below. All right, guys. Bye.